Morning, students. I think everyone is fine with health, and I believe everyone has written your best in the FA1 exam, right? So now what we'll do? I think chapter number 5 is over. Materials in our daily use, right? Materials of our daily use. The chapter has been over, and you'll be getting its PDF in the next class. All right. So, but today what we'll be doing? We'll be discussing the question paper of which we had written on FA1. All right. So we'll have a review on it. So coming to question paper, first one, what is that? Multiple choice question. In general, we write it as MCQs, multiple choice questions. That is MCQs, right? So in that first one, we get oil from mustard seeds, bahuhinaya, sugarcane, or wheat. So out of these four options, from which we are going to get oil? It is from mustard seeds. That is first option. Mustard seeds, that is first option. So from that we are going to get oil. The next, the nutrient that keeps the body warm is it fats, proteins, vitamins, or minerals? So fats, vitamins, proteins, minerals, out of these options, which is going to keep us warm? It is minerals. The last option in that. Minerals. Alright. So then next, third one, the force of wind is used in the process of threshing, winnowing, filtration, or none of this. So actually using the force of the wind, what the people are doing? They are winnowing it. So actually this force of wind is used in the process of winnowing. That is second option. Then last one in the MCQs, that is linen is obtained from. Is it obtained from flax plant, hemp plant, coir plant, or cotton plant? Actually, we are going to get this linen from flax plant. That is option 1. So each question carries 1 mark. That is why MCQ is having 4 questions and it carries 4 marks. Right? Then second one, fill in the blanks. Second one, fill in the blanks. Soaking stems of jute plants in water is called what? ಈಗೇನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಜೂಟನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ಸನ್ನು ಅವರು ತೆಗೆದು ಅದನ್ನು ಬಂಡಲ್ಸ್ ಗಟ್ಟಲೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಟೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಅವರು ನೀರಾಗ ಒಗೆದಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಎದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಗಿತಾರೆ ನೀರಾಗ? ಸೊ ಅದು ನೀರಾಗ ಅದೇನು ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ನೀರು ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅದು ಲೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಈ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸೋಕಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಜೂಟ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಡ್ಯಾಶ್. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ retting. ಸೊ ಆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ನಾವು ರೆಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ವಿಟಮಿನ್ ಎ, ಡಿ, ಇ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕೆ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಡ್ಯಾಶ್. ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನು ನೆನಪೋದು ಇಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ. ವಿಟಮಿನ್ ಎ, ಡಿ, ಇ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕೆ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಡ್ಯಾಶ್. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಫ್ಯಾಟ್ ಸಾಲ್ಯುಬಲ್. They are called fat soluble. ಯಾವುದು? ವಿಟಮಿನ್ ಎ, ಡಿ, ಇ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕೆ. The next, third one, deficiency of fluorine causes dash. In case ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಹದಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಲೋರಿನ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಯಿತು, ಇದು ಏನು ಫ್ಲೋರಿನ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವಾಗ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಲ್ಲುಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಕೊಳೆಯಕ್ಕೆ ಚಾಲು. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ tooth decay. So deficiency of fluorine is going to cause tooth decay in us. Then last one in fill in the blanks. Curd and butter are examples of dash products. Actually, this curd and butter are dairy products. So curd and butter are dairy products, right? Because we are obtaining it from milk, and that is from dairies. So that's about question number 2. Then question number 3. And remember, even in this question number 2, all these 4 questions carry 1 mark each. That makes another 4 marks. Is this clear? The next one, that is third, true or false. So true or false. Okay. First one, what they have told. Carnivores have sharp front teeth called incisors. Actually, what is carnivore? It is the animal which eats only flesh of other animals. ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ಕಾರ್ನಿವರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಬೇರೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳನ್ನ ಬೇಟೆಯಾಡಿ ಅದರ ಮಾಂಸವನ್ನು ತಿಂತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಹಿಂಗಾಗಿ ಅದರ ಹಲ್ಲು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾವೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದರದ್ದು ಮುಂದಿನ ಹಲ್ಲು ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಶಾರ್ಪ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾವೆ. ಅವಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಇನ್ಸಿಸರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ carnivores have sharp front teeth called incisors. So either true or false adu andre it is actually true, because they are having sharp front teeth. If they are not having sharp front teeth, then how these animals can hunt, right? So that is the reason these hunting animals should be having always its front teeth sharp one. Then next, lighter particles settle down during the process of sedimentation. So even the sedimentation ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಲೈಟರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ ತೇಲ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ. ಹೆವಿಯರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ, ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ at the bottom, right? So here lighter particles settle down during the process of sedimentation is wrong. Instead of that, lighter, what we have to use, heavier particles. So the given statement is false. Then third one, a mixture of sugar and water can be separated by sieving. Actually, when this sugar is dissolved in water, we don't get it back, right? So there is no question of separating sugar from salt. And above that, in case if there is any chemical method to separate this, then it cannot be filtered by sieving, right? ಆ ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಶುಗರ್ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಶುಗರ್ ಅಥವಾ ವಾಟರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಗಿವನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್. Then D, the last one in that, 2 yarns are used for the process of knitting. Actually 2 yarns are used, but that is weaving, not knitting. So even this 2 yarns are used for the process of knitting also stands false. So this is about question number 3, true or false. There are 4 questions, but you will be getting half mark for each, so that gives you only 2 marks. This is clear. So MCQ is 4, then fill in the blanks 4, and then true or false 2. So that is total 10. Then next, question number 4, answer the following. Here first one, what it is actually? Define weaving. What is that? Define weaving. It is nothing but a process of arranging two yarns together to make a fabric. So the process of arranging two yarns together to make a fabric is called as weaving. ಎರಡು ಯಾರನ್ನ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು ಟುಗೆದರ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಅದನ್ನ ಫ್ಯಾಬ್ರಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ವೇವಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ದೆನ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಬಿ. ವಾಟ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್? Name the two methods which you can use to separate insoluble solids from liquid. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಏನಾಗಬೇಕು? ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಕರಗಬಾರ್ದು, ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಇನ್ಸಾಲ್ಯುಬಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ in liquids the solids which are not going to dissolve. So how we have to separate it? So which are those processes they have asked? First one is filtration. Next is sedimentation. Then next C. Write the symptoms of rickets. So rickets ಅಂತ ಏನಿದೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ದ ಸಿಂಪ್ಟಮ್ಸ್ ಬರಿಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಸಿಂಪ್ಟಮ್ಸ್ ಏನಪ್ಪ? ಒನ್, ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಲೆಗ್ಸ್, ದೆನ್ ಬೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಬೋನ್ಸ್, and pigeon chest. So these are the symptoms of a person who is suffering from a disease called rickets. So rickets ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ? ಸೊ ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಂಪ್ಟಮ್ಸ್ ಏನಿರ್ತಾವೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ they will be having bowed legs, and they will be having a bending of bones, and then pigeon chest, development of pigeon chest. So these are the symptoms for rickets disease. Then last one, why are animals called consumers? Why are animals called consumers? Why do we call these animals as consumers? First thing, these animals are not preparing its food. Is this clear? So are these animals preparing their food? No. So as these animals do not prepare food, it is dependent on plants and on other animals. Is this clear? Or they are dependent on plants. If plants are there, then only this deer is going to eat. And if deer eats, then it will be food for lion and tiger, for carnivores. So this shows that all the animals are directly or indirectly dependent on these plants. Is it clear? That is why they are called as consumers, because all these animals, what they are doing, it is consuming the food which is prepared by plants. Is it clear? Okay. Why are animals called consumers? Because animals do not prepare food. Hence, animals are dependent on plants. Means these plants are going to be eaten by these animals. That is why we call they are consuming plants. That is consumers. Is this clear? So question number one, question number two, question number three, and this is question number four. All right. So now question number five. So here also for question number 4, there are 4 sub questions. So each question carries 1 mark. That gives you another 4 marks. Alright. So now we'll be having question number 5. So in that first one, differentiate between herbivores and omnivores on the basis of their feeding habits. Give examples for each. So herbivores as well as omnivores. So first, herbivores. What are herbivores? Animals which eat only plants. Animals which eat only plants are called as herbivores. Example, cow, deer, etc. Right? So these are the animals which are eating only plants. The next, another one, what they are given? They are given it omnivores. So omnivores. What are these omnivores? Actually, these are the animals which eat both, that is, plants as well as flesh of other animals. For them, we call it as omnivores. The animals which eat both plants and flesh of other animals. So for that, we call them as omnivores. For example, we have crow and even bear. So these are the examples which eat plant as well as flesh of other animals. Is that clear? So here which eat only plants and which eat both plants and flesh. This is what they have asked the basis of their feeding habits. So they are fed. This is going to be fed with plants, this is going to be fed with plants and animals. So this is the difference on the basis of feeding habits, and give examples for each. So I written examples for herbivores as well, and even for omnivores also we have written. Right? Then the next one, describe an experiment to test the presence of starch in a food sample. I will be rubbing these 3, right? 1, 2 and 3 I will rub. So B, to test the presence of starch what we have to do first, we have to take a food sample. Take a food sample in a test tube. If it is solid, whatever the food sample that we have taken, in case if it is solid, crush it and mix water and then shake well. What we have to do, we have to take the food sample in the test tube. In case if that food sample is a solid in state, we have to crush it and then we have to add some water to it and then we have to shake that test tube. Right? After doing that, what we have to do? Add few drops of iodine solution. Add few drops of iodine solution. After adding that iodine solution, it turns to blue-black color. It turns to blue-black color. If it has turned to blue-black color, then it confirms starch is present in the sample. In case after adding the iodine solution, if we get the blue-black color, then it shows that the starch is present in the given sample of a food. Alright, so that is answer for question B. And then last one, that is C. Conditions required for cotton and jute. So cotton, it is going to grow best in black soil and in warm and humid condition, and it requires the rainfall of 50 centimeter to 80 centimeter of rainfall, and its temperature around 25 degrees Celsius. So these are the conditions so that cotton can grow. So cotton can grow best in black soil and in a warm and humid climate where it requires annually a temperature of 50 centimeter to 80 centimeter and where the temperature is around 25 degrees Celsius. If all these are fulfilled, then cotton is going to grow best. Then next in this one, jute. So jute, it is only warm here in cotton. Warm climate. In jute, it requires warm and humid condition, and then the temperature has to be around 18 degrees Celsius to 33 degrees Celsius. It will be in rainy season and it grows best in loamy soil. Loamy soil is a mixture of clay as well as sand and right. So adon kaltiri loamy soil andre enu. So loamy soil ಒಳಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು 18 ರಿಂದ 33 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಸೆಲ್ಸಿಯಸ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ರೈನಿ ಸೀಸನ್ ಒಳಗೆ, ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, jute is going to grow better. Alright, so this is the review of our FA1 exam. Alright, so all these are the answers. So if you have written correctly, you will get good, right? But anyway, don't keep thinking about marks. What you have to do, you have to keep reading, improve yourself in the next, right? So you'll be getting the PDF of previous chapter, that is chapter number 5 in the next class, right? So till then, keep reading, and homework for you is you have to solve this FA1 question paper again in your HW. This is clear. So I think everyone is good with health, so keep taking care of your health. At the same time, keep reading, practice more. All right, so stay home, stay safe. We'll see you in the next class. Thank you.